Are you ready to nail party?
I will be using my Competitive Edge Custom Original Double Thick Extra Long Nail Forms, my Extra Adhesion Nail Liquid, my Deep Well Ceramic Dappin' Dish, my White Original Nail Powder, my Orchid Fantasy Collection in Fairy Wings, Flower Power, and Deja Vu, my I'm Not Tacky Top Gel, my large flat Kolinsky Red Sable Brush, my Bold Striper, and my towelettes. Sanitize, sanitize, sanitize. And I will be using my Crystal Spray Decanter, available in peach, gardenia, vanilla sandalwood, and fragrance-free. Sanitize your hands and your client's hands. The nail has already been prepared, and I applied my first coat of primer and let it dry. This killed the germs on the nail and dried out the oils in the nail. Now I'm going to apply my nail form, split the form, hold on to my wings, roll my form between my thumbs, place the curve underneath the free edge, stick down the form onto the finger, and then stick together the wings. And this is going to be a square, so I don't want to narrow this tip. I want it to come straight out. Now I'm going to apply my second coat of primer, and I always keep my primer in a primer holder and a little towelette so I can dab off my brush. Slightly dab my brush so I don't oversaturate the nail bed. This promotes adhesion and helps eliminate lifting. Then wipe off my brush before I place it back into my bottle so I don't contaminate my primer. This is going to be a long nail, and I will be using 4 balls. My first ball is going to be a large ball, so I dip my brush all the way into my liquid, and I wipe away just a little bit of liquid so I have a lot of liquid in my brush. Drag towards me my powder, picking up a nice large ball. Place this ball out onto the free edge area. Let it flow. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pat it across. Bring up the sides. Bring up the side. Coming straight out from the nail groove. And stroke it out towards the tip. Straight out from the nail groove. Don't taper it in. There we go. And clean up the tip. Make a nice square tip. Wipe off your brush. My second ball is going to be a small ball. Dip your brush in. Wipe off more liquid so there's less liquid in my brush. Pick up a small ball, place this ball halfway down the nail bed, let it flow. 1, 2, 3. Stroke it out, side, side, center. Wipe off your brush. There we go. My third ball is my cuticle ball. Dip your brush in, wipe it away from you, less liquid. Small ball, place this ball 1/32 of an inch away from the cuticle. Give it just a little pressure so it gets nice and even around the cuticle area, and then stroke it out. Side, side, center. I'm going to apply my fourth ball. This is a medium ball that's going to be a wet ball. So I dip my brush in, leave a lot of liquid in my brush, and then just pick up less powder. Place this ball almost at the cuticle, press to release some liquid, let it flow, and then stroke it out. Side, side, center, and puts a nice arch in that nail. This makes it look really nice, and it makes it strong. Wipe off your brush. Now I'm going to squeeze my C-curve when the nail's no longer shiny and is starting to dry. I press in, starting at the nail bed, working my way out. Now I'm not going to apply a lot of pressure out towards the tip because I don't want it to narrow in. I want it to come straight out. So apply a good amount of pressure down here on the nail bed. This puts a nice curve in the nail and makes it really strong, and then less pressure as I go out. Starting at the nail bed, more pressure in the center, and then less as I go out so it stays straight. Now I'm going to remove my form. Just squeeze together the form at the tip to release it and peel it off. I will be using my disposable 180 grit long-lasting zebra file, and this file has a special zinc oxide coating which makes it really smooth and easy to file. And I will be using my disposable clean finish buffer, which is made out of material and not made out of paper. So when you buff, it doesn't leave any grit on the nail. You can also use it dry, wet, or with oil. And they're so easy to use. You just peel off the back. And stick it on. Peel off the back. And stick it on. You're ready. Before I start filing, I like to score the edge of my file using my buffer. So when I file around the cuticle area, the file is nice and smooth and it doesn't cut the cuticle. Now I'm going to file my nail in 5 steps, and my first step in filing is straight out from the nail groove on the left. Hold the finger in the nail securely, file straight out. My second step in filing is straight out from the nail groove on the right, holding the finger in the nail securely, file straight out. My third step in filing is shaping the tip of the free edge. This is going to be a square, so I hold my file straight up and down, and I file straight across until the nail is flush with the file. Then I know I have a perfect square. My fourth step in filing is the top of the nail in the cuticle area. File down on the side, across the top, down on the other side. Nice long strokes, down on the side, across the top, down on the other side, like in a horseshoe pattern. This way you keep a nice arch on the nail, and you don't file the nail flat. Down on the side, across the top, down on the other side. There's a little road around the cuticle area where you have product and natural nail and cuticle. I'm going to place my file in that little road and file the product flush with the natural nail. And I do this very gently, especially when I have a really opaque color, because I don't want it to get too thin, but I want to make sure it's nice and flush with the natural nail without the product getting too thin, because then I'll lose my depth of color. Down on the side, across the top, down on the side. Step number 5, I turn the nail around from the client's angle so I can see what the client's going to be looking at for the next 2 weeks. And I bevel down towards the tip. Get it nice and even. There we go. I'm going to buff my nail using my clean finish buffer, holding the finger securely, using nice long strokes. Buff the entire nail. Around the cuticle area, make sure the product's nice and flush with the natural nail. Out towards the tip. Take off the sharp edges. Beautiful. And I especially like this clean finish buffer when I'm using white because it doesn't leave any grits in the nail. Completely smooth and clean. Have the client go wash their hands with peach antibacterial soft suds and a plastic manicure brush. Now I'm going to pour a small amount of Clean It into my glass dish to keep my brush clean. Now I'm going to apply Silky Matte, my no wipe matte top gel. Wipe away from you, slightly towards you. Place about 32nd of an inch away from the cuticle. And then nice long strokes. Cover the entire nail. Make sure you cover the whole nail. And cap the tip. Cure 1 minute in an LED or 2 minutes in a UV. Now I'm going to place a dollop of each color onto my palette. Fairy Wings. Flower Power. I'm actually going to use a larger dollop of Flower Power since my flowers are all going to be made from this color. and a dollop of Deja Vu. Now I'm going to place the center of my flowers first and do a 5-second quick cure. Get a nice ball on my brush here. Make the center of my flower. There we go. A little bit bigger. There we go. Now I'm going to do a 5-second quick cure. And what I love about my gel polishes is you can do quick cures without any wrinkling or crinkling. I'm going to place a towelette to help keep my brush clean. I might clean it. There we go. Make sure your brush is really dry. You don't want to dilute your color at all. Now I'm going to make my flower petals. Get a ball of flower power. Place and then drag towards your center. And I do north, south, east, and west first. That way I get it nice and even. And that's why I quick cured this little center, so it's really easy just to clean it off. Now I'm going to apply the rest of my little petals. Get my ball, place, go towards center. Get my ball, place, towards center. Get my ball, place, towards center. Get my ball, place, towards center. Let me clean that off a little bit. There we go. Now I'm going to do a 10-second quick cure. I'm going to do my second flower. This is going to be a smaller flower. So I'll use just a little bit less on the tip of my brush. There we go. A little bit more. There we go. Place. Pull towards center. Again, north, south, east, and west. This just makes it nice and even. Then place the rest of your little petals. There we go. A little bit more there. There we go. Place, pull towards center. Wipe off your brush. And clean this up a little bit. There you go. Now I'm going to place just a little bit more of my Deja Vu on my center. This makes it a little bit more 3D. Now I'm going to do another 15-second quick cure before I apply fairy wings. Wipe off my brush, clean my brush and clean it. Another thing I love about my gel polish, it's so pigmented, you only need to use one coat, and you can put it on thick enough to have a 3D effect without any wrinkling or crinkling. Now I'm just going to add some little squiggles of fairy wings just to give it a little bit more 3D effect. Let's see. A little there. A little there. There we go. Now I'm going to cure 1 minute in an LED or 2 minutes in a UV. Now I'm going to apply a dollop of I'm Not Tacky top gel to my palette. And I'm just going to go around to each petal and add a little bit of shine. And this will even give it a more 3D effect. That way we keep our matte and our shine. go. Super easy. So cute. Cure 1 minute in an LED or 2 minutes in a UV. Now you have your long square matte white acrylic nail with 3D flowers using Orchid Fantasy gel polish. And it's so easy to clean your station. Just peel off your file strips. Disinfect your plastic boards. Fold up your towel. Throw everything away.
Make sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And remember, at Tammy Taylor Nails, nails are always fun and never feel like work.